What's up, people, and welcome back to another Monday motivation video. Yes, it's been a while, and no, I have no valid reasons, but I'm back with another video. This time, a slightly more interesting video or an interesting concept. At least I hope it is. So before we get into the video, let me know what you think, whether I should do more of these kind of videos. Hopefully you watch the whole video, giving me that sweet watch time. If you don't, make sure you leave a like and comment down below letting me know what you think of the video. And also make sure you subscribe because I've got a few reviews and maybe a few giveaways coming. So stay tuned for that. So let me explain why I did this type of video. Ever since I started my YouTube channel, people have always been asking me to do some sort of beginner workouts, weight loss workouts, things like that. Now, while I would have loved to do that, there were certain reasons why I didn't. Number one, I never considered myself as an expert to do something like that. Two, I never felt the need to lose weight. And three, I was never really a beginner to begin with. I was always fairly consistent up until November. However, things changed in November. Thanks to my new job, a side project, and a lot of laziness, my routine went for a toss. As a result, I probably exercised for about 4 or 5 days from November right up to Jan. That's when I decided that in order to get my routine back on track, I have to start from the ground up. In this time, I'd also gained a little bit of weight thanks to the Christmas period. So I thought it was a good opportunity to finally get this weight loss video done. Now, while it would have been easy for me to do something intense, I thought it would be more relatable to do something that all of y'all could do. Ever since I started working, I realized how difficult it is to actually fit in a 1-hour workout into your schedule. So I decided to do something a little more sustainable. And so in January, I decided to skip every day for 30 minutes for 30 days straight. Now, this included no other exercise, no diet, nothing, just 30 minutes of workout. Although I did avoid any sort of junk food in this month, perks of having no social life whatsoever. This was primarily just to get my routine back, but I also wanted to see how much of that holiday weight I could lose, and I wanted to test the effectiveness of a 30-minute workout over a period of 1 month. With all these things together, I thought it would make a really interesting video, so I thought I'd go ahead with it. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope it brings you some value and maybe some motivation to do this yourself. So I checked my weight and I weighed 69.9 kgs on the 5th of Jan, which is not the worst weight for me. But anyway, I started with a short stretch and skipped for 30 minutes listening to some questionable reggaeton and thought I could get it done easy. The original plan was to start on the 1st of Jan. However, Jan 1st was a Saturday and we all know you can't start something on a weekend. Then Monday came along and I still didn't get myself to start. So finally, Wednesday, Jan 5th, I started. This is also another aspect that I wanted to focus on. You don't always have the right time to start. You just have to start one day, regardless of if it's the start of the week or the end. I then somehow stuck to it for the first week. However, the time of day that I exercised varied drastically every single day. Some days it was 5 PM, some days it was 11 at night. That's how bad my routine was. But sticking to my routine was not the hardest thing in the first week. In fact, it was the fact that the skipping rope kept getting stuck in my legs. Trust me, this really tests your temper. I also acknowledge that I am lucky enough to have a situation where I can skip every single day. Most of you will probably have to annoy your neighbors in order to do this. Despite that, I managed to get 1 week done. And at the beginning of week 2, I weighed in at 62.9 kgs. Of course, I did not expect to lose a lot of weight in the first week, but it was a step in the right direction. And yes, all the weight checks were first thing in the morning, just so that there was some consistency. So at 69.2 kgs, I started week 2. However, this time the most challenging part was the terrible and excruciating shin splints that I got from skipping every day. I underestimated how hard this would be on my legs. And this is another reason why I think if you do something like this, you should do it at your own risk. So just a quick disclaimer, I'm not saying that if you did this yourself, you would lose as much weight as me, nor am I saying that this is a recommended workout plan for anyone who wants to lose weight. This is merely a video showing you the effectiveness of skipping for 30 minutes for 30 days straight. And it shows how much weight I lost. If you want to do this, you're going to have to do it at your own risk. In spite of the pain, I managed to finish week 2, and at the start of week 3, I weighed in at 68.5 kgs. This was a little bit of a surprise. You have to remember that throughout this time I have not followed any type of diet, and if you know me, you know I love my food and I can guarantee you that I ate well. The second week even included my birthday, on which I ate more than usual. Nevertheless, I continued on to week 3. Again, while maintaining the routine was difficult, the hardest part was dealing with the horrible shin splints. I quickly realized why you should take rests in between. So after another week of boring skipping, I checked my weight again, and well, I put on 200 grams. So at 68.7 kgs I started again for week 4. It was the last stretch, so it was mentally easier, and thankfully by this time my shin splints had stopped, so I was able to skip without any pain. So the only pain was the frustration of the skipping rope. And another reason I found it easy to maintain my routine was because I used the half an hour to do stuff that I would usually do while lazing. For example, watching a YouTube video or even watching football or cricket. I remember at least 4 instances where I had my laptop in front of me and I was watching a game. So after the last week, I decided to do the last 2 days and then check my weight. And I'll admit I did go extra hard in the last 9 days just to see how much I could lose. Again, no diet, no other exercise, except one Sunday where we went to play football for an hour. So Feb 3rd was 30th day and it was time to check my weight again. I expected to lose a maximum of 2 kgs. When I checked again, I weighed in at 67.5 kg. Now I'm not going to lie, I was a bit surprised. But at the same time, I did skip at a decent intensity for a month straight. So yeah, there you have it. I lost about 2 kgs in this month. Pretty much what I set out to do. And although it doesn't sound like a lot, when you consider the fact that I did not sacrifice on my food, it was just half an hour a day, and I could exercise while watching YouTube videos and doing other stuff. It was a much more sustainable workout routine than a very rigorous and intense one. Yes, I could have done something more intense so that I could lose more weight or lose weight faster. But let's be honest, that would have not been very sustainable for me to do over the course of 1 month. And since this is more sustainable, you could possibly do this for a longer period of time. Now let's say I do this over the course of 1 year, I'm looking at around 10 kgs weight loss. Now if you do a vigorous workout routine, you will not be able to sustain it for a year, especially if you're working. So in that sense, I feel doing something like this is much better. The results may not be as quick as you expect, but at least it allows you to be consistent with your workout. Now while a lot of you may not have the time to exercise for an hour every day, you can fit a 30-minute period at any part of the day, maybe in the morning, the evening or the night like I did most of the days. And even if it's not 30 minutes, even if it's a 20-minute workout, this video was to show you just the effectiveness of being consistent. So yeah, there you go. This is what I found out from exercising every single day for 30 days straight. While the results were not as drastic, I would still prefer consistency over intensity.